You know, we love Florida, and one of the only things that I dislike about this wonderful place we live in are the mosquitoes.
Yep.
Not a fan of mosquitoes.
Yep. You have to constantly get citronella candles to spray your legs or your kids' whole bodies with
it's a giant pain in the butt, man.
It is a pain in the butt. I know my sons, especially Max, are allergic to mosquitoes, and he gets these giant welts, and we never can go in our backyard, especially, it's cool right now. We're not dealing with too many, but it's going to be hot soon. Spring is right around the corner, and that's why you should get a mosquito net system.
Yeah.
I have one in my house. It's basically a barrel that sits next to my pool equipment with
awesome.
a pump. They come and install it basically around the perimeter of my fence. They have these tiny misters, and the liquid is actually an organic material that disintegrates in like 10 seconds.
Safe for
non-toxic.
kids, safe for pets.
Yes.
Some of actually the ingredients I was actually reading about it are actually beneficial for the environment.
Yeah.
That's how all natural it is.
You could talk to them and find out exactly if you're worried about that kind of thing. But what it does do is repel mosquitoes, and you never have to worry about them. So your kids can play in your backyard. I know some people live near bodies of water, retention ponds, and during dusk,
it can get crazy.
It's crazy. And this thing's on a timer, so it goes off during peak mosquito times, actually creating like a barrier around your property. And over time, you never have mosquitoes. Like, I go in my backyard, don't even think about it. And if I do want to hit the mister, I got a remote control. And if
you'll never really know. I mean, it's a low residual botanical insecticide that breaks down rapid fire. That's like the number one question I get is like, well, is this safe?
Yeah.
My kids are running around. Yes, it's 100% safe for kids and for pets. Super easy to use, and it works.
Don't quote me on this, but it's something like 100 times less, not toxic, but caustic than off itself.
Correct.
And you're spraying that directly on
your skin. Yeah, and in your eyes, in your mouth. Everybody's had it in their mouths. It's disgusting.
And you're oily and you stink like off.
And 40,000 different families have engineered one of these systems at their home, all across the United States. So, I mean, I think this is a Texas product, but it kind of moved its way all the way out. And here we are in Florida. I mean, I feel like we are the mosquito capital. So we're the mosquito Nick's big dog.
Absolutely. And locally, there's a bunch of BDMs that work for Mosquito Nicks, and BDM owned and operated Mosquito Nicks locally here in Orlando. If you just go to mosquitonicks.com, you can find out all the information, and it'll revert you to our Central Florida location in which BDM owns it. He'll give you a discount if you tell him you're a Tom and Dan listener. But go on the website. It's great. I never have to worry about mosquitoes.
I actually, you think that I'm not going to use it, but a lot of standing water in the area that I live in, and it's very wet. I have a portable system. It's very, very small. You can take it camping if you need to. It's awesome. Just go to mosquitonicks.com.
In the boy, the larynx and the vocal cords change so that his voice acquires the deeper pitch of a man's voice. The shoulders become broader, thighs grow longer, and the muscles become stronger. Hair begins to grow on the face, under the arms, and in the pubic area.
You are a man, and in taking on the role of the world's second greatest gender, you must adhere to a gentleman's guide to manliness.
Welcome to A Gentleman's Guide, Tom Van.
Dennis.
Steve Kramer.
So,
Now, do you want to start? We have a lot to talk about today. Do we want to start with business idea? Do we want to start with toilet?
I think they're one and the same.
Do we want to start with haircut? Or do we want to start with crazy email? Your choice.
I will leave it up to Steve.
Let's go to the business ideas.
Okay. Business idea.
Start with the toilet business idea.
Well, I don't have a toilet business.
Well, I do, so go ahead.
Okay, all right. Well, tell me your toilet business idea.
Tell me your toilet thing, and then I'll add in.
The business idea has nothing to do with toilets. Toilets is a separate...
I know.
But yeah,
but I'm going to turn your toilet discussion into a businst idea. You're going to see.
So
It'll blow your mind.
We recently started redoing our bathroom, and my wife told me the other day, she's like... all right, like telling me the stuff she's going to buy, buying a bathtub, all stuff. And then she's like, we're going to buy a new toilet. And I was like,
wait a minute, you're buying a bathtub?
You're redoing the bathroom. You got to do it. They're like in one of those houses built in the 70s.
Yeah, but like nobody takes baths anymore, right?
I take baths.
Like we have a bathtub in our main
baths.
shower, and the kids, the kid.
Yeah.
But
you know who else takes a bath? Tony Montana.
I should take more
from
baths,
Scarface.
right?
I don't know. I don't take them.
I do.
Does your wife ever soak or bubble bath or anything like that?
I'm surprised you don't, because I feel like it's more of a southern thing.
No, I would. But I usually, if I wanted to sit in hot water, I'll just go in the hot tub, and then I'll count that as a bath.
Right. So you're adding
that's what you do is you get a bathtub that has hot tub features, and then you can take a bath and
he's
have
already got a
at the same
hot tub.
time.
Yeah. I don't want to get the jet
but you can't get clean in a hot tub. You're not like shampooing in a hot tub. You don't use soap.
I think you can get clean in a hot tub.
Yeah.
It just depends on how trashy you are.
Yeah, my father-in-law
that's true.
will get in his hot tub and shave in there.
Yeah, I think I would too.
But the water recycles. That's no good.
Yeah, he don't care. He's stinking rich.
Yeah.
And
if he's really that rich, you have a bath, and you don't even have to be that rich, by the way. You get a bathtub with the jets in it, and then you actually can do all that, and it goes down the drain, and then you fill it up the next time.
The chlorine will.
Well, let's continue. You're buying a bathtub. No, are you getting claw feet?
I don't know.
Fancy, like...
I wasn't...
very classic, yet in vogue.
Have no idea. My wife is doing it all.
And she knows what she's doing, but you're going to hire the cheapest contractor you can find, right?
No, he actually didn't cheap out this time.
Really?
Yeah. Well, we did, but we...
Okay, I assumed.
It's not a listener, so I can mention... this is funny, because I've never, ever...
And you're not doing trade?
No.
See, this is like a new era.
I know.
Except that you did cheap out.
I was mad about it. I wanted to hire BDM.
He's been in a sour mood since they started construction.
Actually paying for something.
You're seeing the money flying out of the bank account.
Anyway, she did tell me...
Yeah, but when you don't do Bobo, it goes better.
She was talking to the guys that were doing it, and she was talking about the shower. We're doing 2 shower heads, and she was like, "Yeah, when we're both in here showering."
You're doing the dual.
Yeah, she's just adding another one.
I have that. Yeah, I never use it.
And
you'll never use it.
Well, do you shower often with Andrea?
Yeah. We only use one.
Because we have 2 currently, but they're in the same place, and we do turn them both on.
We have one on one side and one on the other side, and we only use the one.
We just redid.
Why not use them both?
It doesn't add anything, and one of them is always going to be not as good as the other.
Well, I mean, I kind of could see that you would not use them, but I'd still, if I'm going to redo it, I think I'd be tempted to do it anyway.
Yeah, but if you're both standing there, only one person, if you only have one on, only one person's under the water.
And then you're switching places.
But you're not here. You're not hearing me. One of them will not be as good as the other, and you will fight over the better head. Which is the one
That's the one thing you shouldn't do when you're showering with your loved one is you should not be fighting.
Not as much pressure. Maybe doesn't get hot the same way. I don't know how they plumbed it. Maybe my house is just, Bobo, but... One comes out normal, and then one comes out a little bit more high pressure, and that's the one everybody wants. So we fight over that one. So we're just screw it, just use the one.
Yeah, but then only you can use it at one at a time.
You know what you need?
Yeah, but to turn on the other one.
You need the 360. Have you seen that? They've got the 360. There's heads from the side. There's a head from the top.
That.
There's a head from back and front.
Super expensive.
Just turn on the other one.
Yeah, because you have to do the equivalent of piping a 3-bedroom house for a shower.
You have not convinced me. Anyway, so long story short,
you're in good hands, and I want to tell you why.
Right.
Because I just redid 2 of our bathrooms. I just got through this, so please continue.
He's a
you already got me. All right.
Yeah, you're sitting down with the bathroom guy.
Anyway, there's another. Okay,
mock me if you will.
No, I'm not.
Kill me! God!
You feel like guess
I'm losing it. I'm losing it. Just let me talk! I can't get through a goddamn story for 1 second! Sorry. Okay. I can't do it anymore! So I'm looking for a toilet to buy because...
You need 2 toilets.
No, I don't even... Well, okay.
You totally poked the bear.
She's like, we need to buy a new toilet. I was like, what's wrong with the toilet we had? It didn't break. It was just, sitting there. And the contractors ripped everything out. So it was literally just concrete floor, no drywall, whatever.
Yeah.
So she was like, oh, the toilet we had was the cheap... standard,
American Standard, Standard America.
It was
that's a good brand.
The cheapest toilet you could buy, which I didn't understand the difference between a cheap toilet and a more expensive toilet. What's the difference?
There's plain toilets, right? Like, I mean, cheap to me means it's still a toilet. It's a porcelain toilet. It's not cheap. It's not like it's made out of plastic. It's, I mean,
there's definitely Bobo toilets. You can, they double in price when you start to get the nicer ones.
But I think it's simple. Is like, I think is a better way to describe it because it's still doing.
It's like the angle though it tends to jet out a little bit further. Like the seat's got a better angle on it versus a straight up and down. Yeah, they're smaller when they're the cheaper ones.
Small. Yeah, I can understand.
And a lot of times they're the wrong color if you have like an old one in there and you're redoing your bathroom.
Yeah, they'll be like off-white or whatever. But anyway, like, so she was like, oh, we need to buy a new toilet. And then at first I was like, well, we just use the same one. Like, I don't know why you threw away a perfectly good toilet.
You just put one of those soft seats on it that lets the air out when you sit on it. And that'll fancy it up a little bit.
Yeah. So then I was like, well, what's the difference between like, an expensive toilet and an expensive toilet? And because
the one thing you don't want is low flow.
Well, then I put it on the BDM page, and people were talking about like flush power, and then I was like, I guess you're right, flush power.
How big are your doo-doos?
Well, yeah. I never
doesn't matter. You don't want to take any chances.
I don't really clog the toilet. Like I rarely.
I mean,
find myself
if you
plunging.
have an elongated BH, and when you're, if you're really, putting in some logs in there.
Yeah.
Then I feel like maybe flush power. But, like, who's going to admit that?
No. It's not about it's the toilet paper becomes an issue. Anything becomes an issue. That just, you have to do multiple flushes. It winds up being dumb because you wind up using the same amount of water because the toilet paper doesn't get down. It sticks because, the water doesn't come down right or whatever.
Yeah.
It could be it's much more, you don't have to be, dropping a bomb for it to be ineffective.
But we never had that problem, so it's not something like,
because you had an old toilet.
I've always
before they did the low flow.
I don't think it was that old. It's another thing where I can't even really tell, like, this is an older model, newer model. What's the advancement in technology? I know people on the BDM page were telling me about the Toto toilet.
Oh, that's what I was going to tell you about.
Toto's the badass toilet. But okay, here's something this is what I discovered yesterday. I had to do to fix a pocket door, like an accordion door, and I needed to get some like.
You did a little handiwork yesterday too. I did also.
A little bracketing up there. So I got up there and I'm replacing this little thing that, like, honestly, I've been like literally procrastinating on for 2 years. So Andrea is like really happy that I finally fixed it. And I walked past this toilet, and this is completely without, like, I didn't know Tom was buying a new toilet, but I saw this sign, and it said, and it was the American Standard Titan.
Well,
when your toilet's called the Titan, I feel like it's a good toilet.
Or maybe
and one of the features that it says, so this is a little bit different one. Mine had billiard balls, but this one says, one of the features, it says 1.6 GPF, 6.0 LPF. Prevents tank condensation with AquaGuard tank liner. The third piece of information they give you is flushes a bucket of golf balls. Why do I need to know that? And
it illustrates it in a way that your mind can comprehend it and go, wow, if it can drop those golf balls, then it could definitely drop a deuce.
I just feel like that's weird, right? Like, that's a weird...
Also, just because the toilet can handle it doesn't mean your plumbing can, right? Like
that's
your
true.
Main drain.
Especially in your neighborhood.
Do you even want your toilet to be able to do that? To put that into your drain? Because
I don't think I do.
Once it gets into the main drain leading to the sewer system or to your septic tank or whatever, if that gets clogged, then you're talking about digging up.
That's not fun.
They have to send down the robot, and if they can't unclog it, then they got to rip up your front yard or...
They even give a warning. It'll flush 15 water wigglers. I'll put this on Twitter.
Water wigglers.
What is that?
Those are the little things you squeeze
that look like uncircumcised weenies. Okay. This is from American Standard's website. It'll do 2 pounds of cat litter.
Oh no! Who's doing that down their toilet?
Deuces in it. I love the music they chose too.
Where do they get the
You can watch this on Twitch. Oh, that's good. That's amazing.
Who's flushing kitty litter?
Okay,
wow. Be deranged.
24 miniature golf balls.
Okay, yeah. Wow.
Look at this.
That is...
your wife is right. I'm in. You got to get... Oh, 2 banana peels it'll flush. 2 banana peels.
2 banana peels?
I feel like the golf balls are the most impressive.
Yeah.
Like the banana peels, I'm like...
This video is 9 minutes long.
Only 2 banana peels?
I assume...
1 pound of orange... 1 pound of orange peels. What are we making, a beer? I think we're brewing beer.
Actually, it looks like a compost pile.
Hey, you only had to do the golf balls, right?
Yeah,
All this other is less impressive than the golf balls.
I think the kitty litter was impressive because that was dry, and kitty litter sucks up all the moisture.
8 large hot dogs in them.
Gross.
Hold on. I'm going to watch all these videos when I'm high later tonight.
Oh, wow!
2.5 pounds of chicken nuggets in them.
Those are actually McDonald's chicken nuggets. They have the shape.
Yeah, those are expensive nuggets.
Those are 2.5 pounds of...
That's a lot of nuggets.
I wonder if
Hold on, there's more. 3 sliders. They can only.
Those are Crystal Burgers. Those are White Castle or Crystal Burgers.
I have to pause this.
Did they do 3 pounds of nuggets?
This is from American Standard's goddamn website. Somebody had to video this in their toilet department.
Somebody had to come up with this video like, how do we show the flushing power of this toilet?
Oh my God, this is the greatest video I've ever found. Let's go back to it. I still got a minute left.
Hold on.
A minute more.
Oh, don't they tell you not to even flush T-Pons?
They're going to put like a
T-Pons.
You're putting a 12-pack of
2 pounds of children's clay.
Oh, no.
Don't flush my son's clay. 2
a Lego Hogwarts castle.
Yeah,
2 pounds of children's clay.
that's going to ruin the city's plumbing.
350 mini test balls. I guess that's okay. I guess that's for toilets.
Test balls.
Test balls are for toilets.
Oh, okay.
So now they're getting the industry. Now we're going into the industry deep.
Do you think it wouldn't do 351? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Well, no, they didn't want to take a chance on
100
that.
cotton
It's
balls.
live.
There's your T-Pons.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, 100 cotton balls.
Well, they tell you not to do it because of the plumbing.
That's
So
right.
If
Finally,
one
wait for it.
T-Pon,
Oh, that's it.
why are they even promoting the fact that it can do all this?
You don't want that down your pipes.
No.
Oh my God, that's fantastic.
So besides flushing power, and besides, like, I know that Toto toilet has.
May I make the case for Toto toilet?
Bidet options and stuff.
No. Japanese toilet seats are the jam. So, in addition to the bidet features, the bells and whistles include heated seats, pressure sensors that only activate when somebody's sitting on it, dryers, motion sensors to open the lid when somebody walks in the room, the ability to speak, brush steel remote controls, and almost any feature you can imagine.
The ability to speak. You glossed right over that. So being self-aware. Like, this is the thing, like,
I didn't say self-aware.
Please do not poo in me. I am alive.
That would be more inviting. Like, please poo in me. I'm ready.
It talks to a seat.
I can flush 250 golf balls.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. I'm sitting on your lid.
These are like the thing.
What's a Toto toilet cost here? What
$500 or $600.
Okay,
I mean that's a lot of money.
That's only $260, right?
Yeah, it's about $260. I mean, you
so
might
double the price.
That's not that
this is just
I
for
thought
a
it was like
seat.
$2,500.
I think this is just for the seat.
Oh. The whole thing.
Yeah.
Oh, don't just get the seat.
I was about to say,
Hold
the
on,
whole
I don't want
thing's
to
got
get
to be
this
like
wrong.
$2,500.
Everybody be
right?
mad at me.
Yeah, the Toto toilets are, I want to say,
Plus, you have to have it
$2,000.
wired and plumbed, so that's going to add a little more.
It's dangerous. You could get shot.
Oh, sorry. On Amazon, you can buy a Japanese-style toilet seat on Amazon for $600 to $1,200, but then you have to have it wired and plumbed. So you're talking about $1,100 to $1,700 for Japanese-style commode. But these are like the thing in Japan. This is, I think 72% of households in Japan have this.
I mean,
they believe in it.
Pardon the pun, but it is the standard in Japan.
It is.
So why?
You spend a lot of time in the bathroom. I mean,
I don't spend a lot of time in the bathroom.
Everybody does. I mean, over a lifetime. I don't mean like per day.
Yeah.
No, I know, but I'm wondering, will it improve my quality of life? Because most of the time, I'm deucing. I'm probably deucing here. Or probably at a high life on top.
Here's an idea. If you do it here,
racetrack,
you clear with Bernie, but right off. It's a business expense
we
and a great.
We have one that a listener sent us. We just haven't had time to have Emerald Plumbing swing by and
it's not the expensive one.
It's just a bidet. You just turn it on.
That's not the same thing.
Spray water in your.
So what I'm asking is how much better, like the whole Toto toilet.
We need to interview somebody.
Yeah, I'm with Sam. Sam's in our chat room. She says, "Is it that much better than your hand?" I'm kind of with her. Like, is it?
Or is it?
I don't have one. I'm intrigued.
Is the experience that much better for the price difference? Like, okay, this regular toilet, like I get the flushing power. That's a benefit, obviously.
Here's a quote. Toto has perfected Heine hygiene. This is a quote. Believe me, after using one of these for a year, you will consider the $600 and some odd dollars it cost the best bargain of your life. You will also wonder why everybody else is not using one and why it took you so long to buy one. You might begin to view your neighbors as bathroom Neanderthals.
Stalls. Neanderstalls.
All the BDMs that have one of these say, like, oh, it'll change your life. It's really good. And I'm like,
do a lot of them have it? Like, percentage-wise in the thread that you threw out there?
I don't know. There was like 6 or 7 that had
I think it's more that everybody's intrigued and interested in it, but they haven't embraced it. They said, like, this article talks about why it hasn't caught on in America, and it's because of a reluctance to discuss bathroom issues, which luckily we're giving people an outlet right now, and a reluctance to change ingrained habits. I mean, it's the same reason that bidets are big in Europe but not in the U.S.
Just because we haven't always had them, so we just don't know.
Although you would...
Or it's not in our
You'd
culture.
think with the kind of the green thing and, you know, the environmental cost of TP versus bidet, it's probably it will probably pick up a little bit.
Does the novelty of the rigmarole of sitting on it, the water, the heat,
is it more upkeep? Do I have to have more clean?
Yeah, does it wear off after a while, and then it eventually just becomes like almost like a piece of exercise equipment?
But that's like if you get a nice car and you're like, is that going to ever wear off? And all you need to do is get into a not as nice car, and then you remember why you like.
Well, I'll give you a for instance
nice
that maybe applies. Like on my car, I have paddle shifters, the double transmission, the DSG.
Yeah, never use them. Right?
I don't use it.
I mean,
like because and I love them. Like now, when I do use them, they're really fun, and you can go really fast, and it's a treat. But I've probably used them 15 times.
See,
but I would say, like, on the whole, there's features I don't use in my car, but if I had the choice between a new car that's kind of stripped down that isn't, maybe as luxurious, and a used car that has, is more comfortable and has more options, I'd buy the used car with all the options every time.
Yeah, well, that's, speaking of...
Because I like the luxury.
Comfort and luxury, you can go out and nowadays and get yourself, like, the most inexpensive brand car with like leather seats and the AC and all,
that load it up.
It's reliable and stuff. And then that compared to, a more expensive brand, if you're looking at actual, like how this makes your life better, the environment you're in, like you want to sit in leather seats. Okay. You can get a cheaper car with that, do with the AC and all that stuff.
Right.
And it's comparable to maybe a car that's $80,000 more. You know what I'm saying? At least your experience of driving it. Now, and the same spectrum, it's got to be
you will reach a point of
it's kind of like putting lipstick on a pig at a certain point. Like there are these big class transitions in quality of vehicle, and you can dress up, but at a certain point, there's just this, superior enjoyment.
For instance, okay,
I'd just rather buy the nicer one used.
What's a brand new Maserati cost? What are we talking?
Depends
on which one you get.
Yeah, the Ghibli. The
90,
Ghibli is like the baby Maserati.
110? Is it?
No, I think the Ghibli is a lot less.
So
I think it's like a hundo.
I think.
Let's just say a hundo, right? So you have a hundo Maserati with leather, and we've rode in Steve's Maserati when you had it.
Oh, I loved it.
The Ghibli is $70 starting.
Okay.
So that's like the baby Maserati.
But you got to deck it out. Deck it out. Let's just say a hundo.
And then you get like that, I'm not even that it's an inexpensive brand or whatever, but maybe it's considered like the Mitsubishi PHEV that we rode around in.
But decked out like the one we were in.
Yeah, like decked out or whatever. Like that's, what is it, $36,000 or something like that? I don't know, somewhere around there. What I'm saying is that, like, yes, there is a big difference in horsepower.
I mean, they both have Android Mobile. They both have CarPlay. They both have air conditioning. They both have power windows, leather seats.
That's what I'm saying.
The quality, the upgrades are going to be, you could fight about that all day. Like the Maserati might have wood trim that's actual wood. Whereas the other car might have, it looks like wood, not really wood.
But your basic quality of driving,
correct.
I'm saying, that...
not my experience.
It's not it's not like the difference between driving one of those things than like Tibet that has one wheel in the front. You know what I'm saying?
One of them is like living in the nicest hotel in the by the day or by the week place, and the other is like living in the Ritz.
Like, see, I
know what you're saying, but I disagree.
I don't think so,
I'll give you an example. Like
I've done both.
Remember my Audi?
I've had the worst cars in the world.
Remember my S3?
We're not talking the worst.
My S3 was a more expensive car, right? My Audi that I had. And it had, like, the most luxurious, like, special edition interior, and it had a pop-up screen that looked like magic and all this kind of crazy stuff on it. And now I have a GTI, which is, to most people, considered a downgrade, but...
It's made by the same company.
It is, but I like the GTI a lot better. Yeah. And it is it's got just as much tech. The leather probably not as nice. It's not.
But also, it's like the same company.
Close.
I mean,
that's what I'm
it's
saying.
It's like a Toyota Avalon versus a Lexus. They're so close that I wouldn't expect to notice a difference either, and you'd feel better, probably spending less on the loaded Toyota.
All I'm saying is there's a price you pay for a quality of life, and then you reach a point,
maximum velocity,
where then every nicer thing is incrementally small quality of life, but a large gap in price, and then it's just not worth it. To go that one step a little bit higher isn't worth the price. It's you've already reached basically maximum enjoyment.
But here's what I would say: if you want an experience of driving a Mercedes in that luxury ride, you're better off buying a used Mercedes than a Honda Civic loaded up to the max and special options of a leather seat on it. They're just fundamentally different. You're never going to get. First off, you're probably going to spend close to the same amount of money depending on the car you're talking about, and you're never going to get that experience because, like I said, it's just they're not comparable.
God, it's hard for me to say that they're not that comparable when.
Well, obviously, people are going to see things differently.
Yeah, true. There's a lot of subjectivity.
It's all subjective. If you
exactly,
but I'm just saying the general idea of driving in a comfortable environment.
See, you're the perfect guy for this because to me, let me see if this makes sense to you.
And same thing with a toilet.
So standard toilet, right, is here. So I'm gonna do real simple.
American standard.
American standard, what is it called? The Titan. Okay, so you've got the Titan. It has no frills. It flushes. That's all it does.
That's like a truck. That's like an F-150.
$300.
It's maybe a little under, $250. So
in the car analogy, that's like an F-150, right?
Okay, so you got that. Sure. So you got that guy, right?
Okay.
And then
what's the Toto toilet? Ooh. Because that's what people were saying.
That's $600.
No, that's the seat. I'm talking the whole damn thing because right now I have nothing but a stink hole.
We knew about that. All right,
I think the comparison is like an F-150 for that American standard versus a Ferrari for the Toto.
So the one you want is $5,000.
Okay. No way.
Yeah, I got it right here. I found it. It's the one-piece elongated toilet, and this isn't even their high-end model. This is just the one that everybody gets. The one-piece elongated toilet, universal height. It's the one that standard fits. It'll go right into your... Well, you're going to need an electrician, but it'll go right into your house.
Yeah. I'm actually already putting an outlet next to my toilet because they're redoing everything. So
you charge your phone.
I'm putting one there so I could plug it in if I wanted to, so that it doesn't have to. You don't have to worry about the plumbing and all that stuff. The whole thing is down to the studs. So anything that I want to add, I could definitely. But that's what I'm saying. So I buy a $300 toilet compared to a $5,000 toilet. Is that $700 difference make that much of a difference with my experience every day?
Here's the thing with Toto, I'm looking at one as cheap as $400 and something. So I think there's a
just for the seat again.
No, this is for the full toilet, but it doesn't have all those features. So I think there's probably a middle ground on the Toto, but I'm not spending $5,000 on a toilet.
Yeah. And so
I think you should though, because I want to hear about it.
Well, I don't. Well, that's the thing. I want.
Oh, you got a video for the Toto, Daniel?
Yeah, this one uses super smooth this one that I'm looking at for you has this thing called Santa Gloss, which repels bacteria and particulates, and it also, I believe, will purify the water before it's sprayed on you, so you're not getting well water sprayed on you. It actually is spraying you with enhanced water called e-water.
that
sounds like BS to me.
Well, it's upgrades I don't even need. And does that? And
well, think about that. If you had a bidet shooter in your toilet and it's got dirty water on it, it's potentially spraying dirty on water. That's the logic.
It's not getting it from the lake behind my house. No, but it's getting it from the same water that I drink. It's like all the water coming into my house from the city is purified already. I'm fine with.
Well, I guess it would only matter if they clean the nozzle somehow.
Obviously, I got RO water from Guardian that I enjoy drinking.
I can make you a deal.
Spraying it in my bee.
Let's hear the deal.
I can
I'll spray lake water in my bee.
I think I can make you a deal for your bee.
I don't care.
It would make more sense for me for you to save the money and buy the awesome shower that Steve was talking about, like the 360 with the lights, or
that's probably about the same cost,
or whatever.
Right?
That because at the end of the day, you go in there, maybe you're with your wife, you're with your family, or maybe it's just you and you want to relax. Like that, to me, getting a badass mega shower with the rain feature and all of that.
You
that
put your bathtub in the shower. I saw that on one of the Flipper shows the other day. They put the bathtub inside of the shower, inside of the whole area, so that you can shower and bathe, or bathe and shower, whatever.
Well, that's a standard.
Inside. The bathtub is inside of the shower enclosure.
Oh, so it goes up? It goes long?
No, imagine like a room where, you've got a glass wall for the shower.
Oh, I know
and
what
then
you
it's
mean.
big enough that you could put actually a bathtub inside of it.
Yeah, I don't, that's
just a waste of space.
Yeah, I don't see how that is that much better than just having the bathtub
you have to
a
see
couple
the show.
feet to the right. It doesn't make a difference.
Well, you could get out of your bathtub and then shower off if you wanted
Here's
to.
the real question, because
I don't have it.
For years, you've talked about how you know, and are you putting a pocket door to hide your toilet away from the rest of the bathroom? Because if you're not, you're still poor.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I'm not. The bathroom's too small
Hold on.
for that.
There's a good argument for having that toilet open to a beautiful bathroom, like in the Rick and Morty episode when Rick has the toilet seat that opens to like the most beautiful view of the universe.
I'm only dealing with the same.
You don't want to look at a little pocket door.
1970s house. I don't have any option to get the actual separate door.
How about a curtain?
I could, but it would take away.
How about some wooden beads? Wooden beads.
Do a circle curtain,
like a boat, like a pontoon
or
boat,
like a
1920s cartoon.
Yeah, or like what a clown changes behind.
Does your house have the super small master bath? Like the rest of, all in English estates, they're all super small master baths.
Well, that's why we're ripping out all the closet and making the whole
so you
thing.
are,
We've already did all, Then we moved the closet to another room, but
they're almost done.
That's going to be nice. No matter what you do, no matter what toilet you get, you're going to enjoy actually having some room in your bathroom.
Yeah, I never even thought about upgrading the toilet.
Yeah, get the shower.
Well, what shower?
You get the crazy
the 360 one
that it shoots water from the bottom,
from everywhere.
Everywhere, your whole body's getting showered.
Then you really can take a shower with your wife and not fight over who gets the good stream.
Well, I mean, we're getting multiple shower heads. That seems to me again.
You're not listening to Daniel.
Well,
he's the expert on it. He's got them already.
He never listens to me.
I know.
What are you talking? Well, what's the 360 showers? It's another thing. We don't have.
Yeah, it's
no. It's different. That's a different game.
Yeah.
That's Ferrari versus go-kart.
I don't know. Water shooting everywhere doesn't seem like that much more of an enjoyment factor.
Like this.
You don't have to fight over where the water is coming from.
Well, that's why we're adding another head.
Like this one right here. See?
That's what Daniel was saying.
See, it's got the rain at the top. It's got the detachable. All of these things spray out.
Yeah.
It's got like a TV screen where you can you put your stuff in there.
That's the Japanese toilet seat of showers, my friend.
Shower head. It's just spray crazy.
Yeah.
That's what you need. And that's only $600.
Yeah,
that's crazy. That's the same price as one of those toilet seats.
Yeah, I mean, again,
here's a more expensive one. This is the one that's got all the dials. Oh, this is the one that's got the smells.
Of course, that doesn't include the install and the plumbing.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Again, though, it's just now we have multiple water sources. Yeah. Like the difference between one shower head and 5, to me, not
the difference
worth
between
it.
1 and 2 is great. The difference between 2 and 360, not that great.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I get you.
I want to spend money up until I get the maximum enjoyment for the cost.
Well, and the other issue is you still have the same amount of water coming through the pipes, the same amount of water pressure, so you're just spreading it over more heads.
Yeah. Anyway, I didn't know there was any
we've been there and back
much
again.
Options for the toilet. But let's get it. Let's go to break.
Yeah, we'll take a little break. I got an email that has a legal question, and but it's a weird one. You'll like it, Steve. We'll be right back with more A Gentleman's Guide. A Mediocre Time, a corporate time with Tom and Dan, BDM members, all of our guys know there's one thing that we strive to let you guys know about anybody that advertises with our company is if you let them know that you listen, you're a member, that you're involved with us, they're going to treat you better, point blank, period.
Exactly, and that's what everybody wants, that VIP experience, that extra little attention that you get when they know, our advertisers know that you're a Tom and Dan listener.
It takes the awkwardness away, and you get right to business, and normally with really wonderful people.
And that's what you'll get at Blanchard Insurance. It's BlanchardInsurance.com, 407-788-8640. They got offices in Altamont Springs, Daytona, Land O'Lakes, St. Pete. They're getting more. They're going to give you that VIP VIP experience, first, they're going to give you the best rate. And how many of you guys know your insurance agent? How many of you guys know that the policy that you bought for your house, your vehicles, your boat, whatever, covers everything you need it to cover? Blanchard Insurance is going to make sure that all the policies you get through them are going to fit your needs and fit your needs specifically, and you're going to have an agent there that you can call personally at any time 24/7. So that's why you use Blanchard Insurance. That's why Tom and Dan, T&D Media, is going to use Blanchard Insurance from now on.
This is what we say. Like, you guys are part of our family, and we're happy to bring Blanchard into the family, and now they're going to treat you like family.
BlanchardInsurance.com.
Welcome back to A Gentleman's Guide. I'm Dan Dennis.
Tom Van.
Steve Kramer.
We got an email, Steven. This is kind of a strange legal question. I'm going to have to edit a few things out of here when I read it, but I think you're going to like it. It says, "Hi, Tom, Dan, and Fatty K. I wish this was fake, but it's not. My BH..." You guys know what that is. "Has been a location on Facebook since 2012, and I can't get it removed. The first thing you see when you type in my full name on Google is my name BH on Facebook. The page was created in 2012. I was only 15 at the time. I have reported it a million times, even asked friends to report it. It's humiliating. I tried requesting the name change of the page, reported it to every option possible. Facebook says it doesn't violate terms. I tried claiming it as my business, since at the bottom of the page it claims to be automatically generated off interest of topic and not affiliated with the business, which I don't understand how that happened, and it wouldn't let me claim it. It was never a business. I was a child. I feel so helpless. Any advice would be appreciated. I promise I'm not trolling and have proof if needed, with my name obviously edited out. Thank you, Mr. BH." And he's dead serious.
BH.
I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't understand.
So apparently, if you type in
Can we type it in?
This gentleman,
And censor it?
I don't have his full name. I'll have to ask Sam maybe if she can maybe possibly track it down or snag it. But from what I get the gist from this, it's his full name. So if you go to Google and you type in his full name, it just goes to a Facebook page it just says my BH. So it's like his name has been connected to the word for your downstairs bottom.
Did he do this when he was young?
I don't get the... it says the page was created in 2012. I was only 15 at the time.
So who created it?
I don't know.
Because if he created it, he should have control over it. And if he has control over it, he should be able to change it.
But he's saying that Facebook is saying he has no control over it, even though he tried claiming it as its own business. So after reading this, yeah, it seems like he was 15. He played a prank. He's being silly.
Yeah.
But now he can't access it to delete it, and now he's a grown-ass man and wants it gone.
I still get a hard time understanding if someone else created it,
he should be able to...
he created it, I believe.
Then he should be able to reclaim ownership of it, and he needs to...
right?
Or delete it.
Yeah, but
he can't delete it until he gets ownership of it.
So how
did he lose control? You know what I mean?
I don't know.
He lost his password? Yeah. And if so, wouldn't you go through the password recovery process? And then if they're saying that somebody else owns it, well, then what he should do is take the position that it's, some type of invasion of his privacy and constitute some type of besmirching of his reputation. I don't know if there's a defamation angle there, but basically either he owns it, and if he doesn't own it and can't control over it, then he needs to somehow show how this is harming his reputation and causing him injury and his misrepresentation or mischaracterization somehow, and then potentially take legal action. But I think he's better off trying to work from the inside out, right?
Yeah, I would imagine, no pun intended. It would be smart. I think what you're saying that I would do if I were him is that you definitely have to ramp up to Facebook if you're communicating to them that it is causing you some sort of duress, or not that you just don't like it.
So it just
what
has,
I mean? Like,
I'm still not sure what's on the page.
Yeah.
Like,
it's just his name, and then it says BH. Like, I don't understand. What
BH means? What we think it means?
Yeah.
Just,
yeah.
Can't say it.
I don't know though what the Facebook page even.
What is it even?
Yeah, it's just. Is it his picture? Like then. I don't know. The whole thing doesn't make any damn sense to me.
Yeah.
I
think the best option, because it doesn't make sense, is to try to, if you created the page, try to reclaim ownership of the page, and work the internal channels of Facebook and try to escalate. Look for their corporate office contact and contact somebody that is not on a remote support center, but call their corporate office. You can find that by Facebook, and all companies that are publicly traded have to make disclosures of certain officers and positions and have to provide contact information for that. So use those channels to get in touch with somebody at a corporate office, and then escalate it to somebody that actually has decision-making authority, and then make a compelling argument for either why you should get control over the page or why it should be removed. That is by far the best option. That's not necessarily a legal solution, in that you don't have to file a lawsuit, but that's a solution, and that will get it resolved.
If you're not allowed to make a Facebook page with someone else's name and then use their pictures and then pose as that person, are you?
I think that would violate. I mean, I'm not an expert on their terms of service.
And celebrities, though, because there's tons of Twitter pages. That's why they verify.
The funny thing is, I had a lawsuit about with a celebrity where somebody had created a fan page and they were sued by the celebrity. Actually, the celebrity was okay with it for a while, but then eventually sued them to get it back, and eventually they made a deal to turn over ownership and release the liability.
We even have a situation on Instagram where we had somebody originally go in and grab a Mediocre Time or at a Mediocre Time. So we couldn't get it.
Well, what happens is it can constitute a trademark issue, right? Because they're impersonating a company. They're using the trade name that's causing dilution of the value of the brand. There's all kinds of reasons why you can be able to reclaim that. It can get a little tricky with fan pages, but I think that's pretty consistent that if you are impersonating somebody else and using photos that don't belong to you, there's all kinds of legal checkboxes that get marked here that can expose them to liability and present you with options, right? Including violating maybe their terms of service.
It's the whole point of verification, right? Why you have the blue check is all right, this person is this person, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
It's weird, and I think Sam is saying.
But I see what
Sam, did he create it? I think Sam is saying that he doesn't know who created it.
Okay, so someone else.
You don't think he did?
Someone else did. He found out.
Okay, so somebody else connected his name to it, and now he can't control it. Yeah,
that makes more sense.
That makes more sense.
But I've got to imagine that must violate terms of service to be impersonating somebody on Facebook. Right, if somebody created another Daniel Dennis page there have been those, and normally it's very easy to just contact them and say, that's not me, this is me, and all it requires is them looking at your actual pages and seeing, and they just delete it. Does it actually have pictures of his anatomy, or it just has his name plus the word BH?
No, he's just connected to it. It's just like calling somebody a name. It's like, and I think that's what he's saying is like as he gets older.
Well, the other thing is,
you think about your potential client or somebody you're working with Googles your name.
You're in for a job interview. They're like, oh, let's look up Daniel Dennis.
Yeah, and then you look like a fool. So I can see why you would want to, if you're tidying up your digital footprint.
I got another option. There's companies that are out there that do reputation management that will handle privacy. They'll do. I've seen it actually. It was when I was doing a startup company for a tech company. We were doing a startup. There was a guy that was a founder of one of those companies that flew out from California. He was like a Silicon Valley guy that did venture capital, and he flew out. And that was what his company did. So they do two things. One is they'll do privacy for people, and they're like $20 a month services, and then I think they have more enhanced ones for people that were willing to spend it. But they do that in reputation management. So that's another option. Either work through Facebook and get in touch with somebody at the corporate office. Look at filing a lawsuit, because there's definitely some type of lawsuit that can get filed, but that's more complicated, maybe expensive. Hire a company to maybe do it for you that handles reputation stuff online. Or, have more accomplishments in life, and strive to do things online that maybe replace that at the top of the search, like make your own website, do things that will replace that search result.
You could get an SEO guy to maybe, launch something higher.
Yeah, exactly.
Also,
Start your website. Do a website for your wedding. Do
who cares aspect of this, right? Because
yeah, but some people aren't as lucky. Like you have this amazing.
Yeah, you don't have to go in for a job interview.
You have this nice no care thing.
Yeah, but there's other.
I wish I could do that.
Well, but there's other people with your same name out there. I mean, search.
But I don't know
picture. That. But, I don't know his name.
Maybe he's got a very specific name, or maybe it's got his photo on it.
Well, if it's got his photo on it, then I think you can have a case. And I think Facebook would take it down and be like, hey, this is not me. Someone's a person.
I don't think we have enough info. Maybe with this guy's permission, because I know he'll hear this. Mr. BH, if you hear this, we'll follow up maybe even next week. Email us back or give us your number. We won't say your name or anything, but we need more details so we can help you solve this.
Because if an employer searches your name and sees that, it'd be like, I don't know what that is. Like, that's not me. And
this might be worthy of an investigative report, like News Style. I mean, or maybe hooking up with that. So definitely reach out to us, and we'll see if we can help you or hook you up with somebody that can.
Try to fix it.
I say you're spending too much time thinking about it. Who cares? Not going to hinder your life.
Not going to disagree with you. You're probably right, but it would bother me. You know it would.
Tom,
if someone just had Daniel Dennis BH, that wouldn't bother you.
It is standard operating. No, it is standard.
They probably already have it.
What is it? Also,
it doesn't matter to you because you're in entertainment and you have your own business, but it's standard operating procedures for almost any company out there to do searches of social media. And they look that up, and they're going to see that, and guess what? They've got a lot of qualified candidates, and that's automatically going to put you, maybe harm your chances, or put you the bottom of the list. That's why he cares.
But what if someone else has the same name as you?
Twitch is asking. It says the actual word, not the BH. It says the B word for your downstairs and the H word for what's in it.
Okay,
there you go.
Yeah. So
that we can't say. Silly. It's a child's word.
Again, though, if other people have your same name and it's a different person or whatever, that's not going to hurt your chances.
Obviously, it must look like him enough that he believes it's concerned. So it must have his picture on it or something.
Yeah. And then I feel like if it has your picture, now you got
and I think you're right.
That's your answer. That's your way.
It does actually. You're like, hey, this is someone impersonating.
Yep. I think you work Facebook over first.
Well, we got to get out of here. Yeah. Let's plug some stuff. OneFirmForLife.com. I gave it a light one.
You did.
Have you heard Steve's new ads? Really aggressive dots. He's bringing it back.
Yeah.
What ads on?
Well, people got mad at me when I toned it down. People, why did you tone down the dot?
Yeah.
What's up?
Like a dot. I like it like that. Like a
Do people spend? You're in the elite business world, Steve.
Yeah.
Do people spend that much money on TV commercials anymore?
If you saw what you can pull reports, I think there's Nielsen reports or whatever for what people spend on TV, and it's insane.
No, I know.
I mean, but especially lawyers.
Yeah.
Lawyers and car dealerships, and then politics. I mean, political years are huge.
That's got to be
They spend a fortune.
Getting less and less popular, right?
I think in some ways it's more competitive than ever.
It is?
Because the economy is so hot. That means car companies have lots of money to spend. There's lots of business out there, and people are spending to meet it. So in some ways, it's probably up.
All right, let's get out of here.
Yes,
Thank you for listening.
Sir.
We'll see you next week.
Yep, we'll see you next week.